Hello class, my name is Jade and today I will be talking about the importance of prioritizing your mental health. Mental health is a part of every single person's well-being and it's something that a lot of us struggle with but oftentimes don't know how to deal with. So today I will be talking about different ways to seek treatment for mental health as well as why certain mental health disorders occur. And my question to the audience is, have you ever been anxious about a certain thing in your life and had it impact or affect your performance in other areas? A lot of us would answer yes to this question because anxiety is just one aspect of our mental health, and there are many other things that can impact our day to day living. So, my purpose with this speech is to persuade the audience to prioritize their mental health and seek mental health treatment. And so, I will be discussing particular mental health issues, why they occur, and different ways that we can seek treatment for them. So, starting off, my main point is that there are many different mental disorders that can affect our mental health, and they may be a result of a lot of different things. It could be environmental or traumatic experience in your past, or simply an imbalance of chemicals in your brain. As seen in this picture, different disorders, such as anxiety and depression, can affect different parts of the chemical makeup of your brain, which can be a result of many different things, including genetics and, as mentioned before, past traumatic events. And so I will be talking about the most common disorders in American society, which, according to NAMI.org, is anxiety and depression. These are the most common disorders in Americans today. Starting off with anxiety disorder, there are many different types of anxiety disorders, such as general anxiety disorder, panic attack disorder, social anxiety, stress-related anxiety, OCD, and many other things. And according to ADAA.org, about 19.1% of Americans suffer from anxiety, and that's just diagnosed people. A lot of people with anxiety go undiagnosed, and about 36% of people haven't sought treatment for their anxiety disorders. And so certain anxiety disorders, again, can occur due to genetics, brain chemistry, life events, or environmental circumstances. For example, anxiety disorder and many other mental conditions can be inherited from your parents or grandparents, and so that just has to do with your genetic makeup and the chemistry in your brain, which or other causes could be life events causing an imbalance, a chemical imbalance in your brain. So that's everything on anxiety disorder. Another common or major common disorder amongst Americans is depression, major depression. And there are also many different types of depression, such as, again, as mentioned, major depression, there's seasonal depression, persistent depressive disorder, bipolar depression, postpartum depression. A lot of women postpartum after giving birth suffer from depression because of the imbalance of hormones and of chemicals. And again, AADA.org states that in 2020, about 14.8 million Americans had a depressive episode. And of course, this makes sense considering the conditions of the year. We were going through a pandemic and isolating, and a lot of us were self-isolating, not even with family, which can spark depressive episodes. And so that website also stated that depression is the most prevalent mental health condition in our society, and a good majority of people haven't been diagnosed and haven't sought treatment for that as well. And so both of these disorders, both anxiety and depression disorder, can affect your day-to-day and your performance in certain areas, in your relationships, work, school, whatever it may be, just your life upkeep, hygiene as well. So it's important to prioritize these things so that you don't allow it to affect your day-to-day on such a grand scale. So secondly, I will be talking about treatment. Now that we've gotten through what these disorders are, I will now talk about treatment. So why we should seek treatment. As mentioned, these anxiety and depression disorders can affect our day to day. And a lot of people are afraid to seek treatment because of the stigma that comes from going to therapy or different types of mental health treatment. Um, because of the negative connotations around addressing a mental health condition and seeking help in it. And the LehiCenter.com cited in an article that shared the negative stigma around mental health is the reason why most people don't seek treatment, because they may be afraid of seeming weird for seeking help, or weak for not being able to handle their emotions, quote unquote. Um, and so the people around you um, could actually be a reason to seek mental health treatment, because your brain and the way it's working, anxiety, depression, OCD, PTSD, whatever it may be, um, can affect how you interact with other people, and so it can affect them and their mental health as well. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're healthy mentally, so that the people around you are benefiting from that as well. And your mental health can also affect your physical health. A lot of people don't know this, but according to the same website, LehiCenter.com, good mental health can improve your sleep habits, and your immune system. And anxiety and depression is sometimes something that we feel physically. So figuring out how to best deal with those things can improve your physical well-being. So now that we've talked about why most people don't seek treatment and why it's important for us to seek treatment, I'll talk about different types of mental health treatment. First, starting off is the most common, which is therapy. And there are also many different types of therapy. You have psychoanalysis therapy, behavioral analysis, cognitive therapy, and many more. And according to APA.org, therapy helps people to understand their conditions and find ways to solve it. As seen in this picture here, it's two people talking, and so our brains may be something that we have trouble um, figuring out and knowing what to do with certain problems, and so seeking therapy can help us to understand our mental condition and find the best way to cope with it in our day-to-day life. You can also be prescribed medication to help with the brain chemistry, because oftentimes, as mentioned, depression and anxiety can be an imbalance of hormones, so having medication helps with that. And then also simple changes in your day-to-day routine can help with anxiety and depression and other mental conditions. Some people have found it as simple as changing your morning routine or your night routine or your day-to-day routine. Sometimes giving yourself a routine to follow can result in less anxiety. And also some people find that being out in the sun and participating in physical activities can help with the dopamine and serotonin boost in your brain, which can help with depression. So in conclusion, a lot of us are struggling mentally and aren't able to recognize it, and so prioritizing your mental health will contribute to your overall well-being and to the people around you as well. And although it may be something that we always deal with, and seeking treatment won't fix it right away, it will definitely help in the day-to-day and make the anxiety and depression or whatever condition that any of us are dealing with just a little bit easier. Thank you for listening.